Paul Schaefer, ladies and gentlemen. No. So, seriously, yeah, Ron was seriously doing this fashion show for this very famous Japanese designer, and he and several other men of his size were asked to be models in this fashion show. So that's one of the reasons why I couldn't be here. The other one is I didn't tell him where I was, figured, you know, you wouldn't look at me all day. So the main reason why I couldn't be here, of course, is because he was over in Europe. But he just returned last night, and we spoke on the phone also this afternoon. And again, we had a couple of really wonderful stories that we were laughing about. One was, of course, you know, Ron. You know, I think a lot of you have seen him through the years, and you have a sense of, you know, the actor part of him. And Ron's playfulness last year was a big step for Ron in returning as a person, as Ron Perlman, the fandom. And it was months and months that he continued to speak about his experience at the con in Los Angeles. How, not even from the sense of how like everyone sort of like just loves seeing him, but what it's all about again, like what Beauty and the Beast really means to everybody here, in personally and universally. How Beauty and the Beast again has just touched so many people in a way that it's a transcending experience. And he, for months, talked about how much fun it was to be there and to see all of you be just open and friendly and fun and just not that crazed about seeing it. Yeah. So he wanted to share again his thanks for allowing his work and the work of all of the other artists and craftspeople that work at the show to have such a unique place in such a very crowded and oftentimes bizarre medium in television. And he thanks you from the bottom of his heart for allowing him to sit around on a Saturday night and think about there are people, again, whose lives will be enriched, hopefully tomorrow, when we accumulate some funds for this shelter. Because he went up to work every morning at 3 o'clock in the morning with Margaret Becerra and sat there and, you know, ate cheese balls while she glued photos there. The other very interesting experience that Ron was talking about is, you know, he was just in bus stop. And I know a lot of his fans from both the States and from the UK, and I'm sure a couple other territories, stumbled their way down to New York, amazing as you all are, to enjoy Ron and some other very talented artists in bus stop. And I think we brought Ron a little bit further out of the caves last year, because he talked. I told him along the way that I knew some of the fans were gone, and I said, listen, this is Jersey, they're coming, you know, the Dream Seekers are coming in. Specifically on the phone, we were talking about, he remembered two very unique, enriching encounters with two groups of fans. I think one of the groups was Anne and a couple of ladies that came in from England. There they are on the back against the wall. How, you know, personally, Ron's a very shy man, and there's, I think, an approach that we've all had to him because of Vincent that startled you all, like we said, and startled Ron. Like, my God, I don't know how to be. If I'm Ron Perlman, the guy who hangs out with, you know, Dave and Jay and smokes cigars, but out in the world, it's like he's very shy about it. And I know he said that he had a really lovely time. In fact, the ladies from England that he had seen, I think, earlier in the afternoon, they were waiting by the stage door, and he had a really nice encounter. And afterwards, they were there on the next day, and he just spent some time, and it was really meaningful for Ron, because it was, though he knows people came because of Vincent, that they were there to see his other work, and they just wanted to thank Ron Perlman. The same story goes with the Dream Seekers. The Dream Seekers, several of the ladies came up, and I don't know if Sally and Liz and Roz and Lorraine, you all were there that night, but he talked about how the Dream Seekers were going, look, we don't want to take much of your time. And I was like, oh, this is great. I really he hung out with, how long did you guys hang with Ron in the theater? Yeah, Ron was just, he was just so happy to have this experience. It's like from a new place for him. And I just want to thank you guys for being who you are. And the same goes for the ladies from England. And I'm sure there were probably other instances of people went to see him and experience that. But we talked a little bit about this because he really remembered the experience with, Lori and Gina and everybody, because he got a chance to be the invitee. Like, come play. I'm really, this is kind of cool, and just hang. And it's all because of how you made yourselves available. That it showed up in even Ron's life that this is really something extraordinary that we've created. And again, I guess what I'm trying to say is there's two words that Ron wants to pass on. That's like, thank you. So to all of you, thank you for making his life a much more richer place because of what you've given back to him. So this is from Ron's side. It would be unfair for me not to say anything about Linda, though I haven't been able to reach her because I think probably everybody knows she's filming a motion picture in Idaho called Dante's Peak. We did speak the day before she left to go to work. She knew that I would come here, and we had promised each other we were going to try to hook up before, but on location, somewhere up there, it's been really difficult for me to try to get to her and find her. But I know when we spoke 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, she was, as always, we spent some time, she autographed a bunch of stuff. She's passed on, which will come up at auction later, some really special things which just happened in her life. Award certificate from, nomination certificate from Mother's Prayer, and some of the personal stuff that Linda got for the acknowledgments for her work in that. She, again, always, in a very deepest, heartfelt manner, wants me to communicate for her that she just thinks you people are outrageous. Really, outrageously like this, outrageous, that you just play in this arena like this. And Linda and I have spent a lot of hours talking about it. She knows, and I know, and all of us from the community know, you can't just play in life in this arena. If you people are isolating your quality and your giving and care in this arena, we don't know that you play out in the rest of the world like this. And we are very blessed again to have you in our lives. So for myself and Linda and some of the other team that I'm sure you'll talk with all night, thank you very much. Thank you much. Just before we go to the awards, because we've got a lot of gifts to give out for some great talents, I just want to point out something that I'm sure is probably obvious to everyone. I want to be, it took me a while to get this together, so I might have to look at some of my notes here. I'm sure everybody has felt this con a little bit different than some of the others. It almost seems like we've been in someone's home this week. And it's been very, I don't know if it's Southern. I haven't seen any hay on the side, so. But I'm sure you're all feeling the same thing, and I just want to take the time to thank the people who have made this hotel a really warm and inviting and special place to be this weekend. So if I could get the convention organizers to please stand. If I could get all of the, obviously 3-4 people have a lot of work to do in putting this together, but they're by no means the only people who have been sweating and crying and staying up all night. If I could get all the department heads, all of the committee heads, and all of their helpers around the room who have had their hands in this beautiful event. Please stand so we can all see you and acknowledge your